Hello, this is Ray Stendall. I'm joined with Judy Williamson from the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and we are going to talk today about a very exciting topic. It's the topic of revenge, and it's a video that's going to accompany the newsletter from Napoleon Hill Foundation yesterday and today. So, Judy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. It's nice to see you again, Ray, and I'm glad we're able to do this together.
Oh, me too, me too. So, why don't we first start with sharing some wisdom from Napoleon Hill on this very important topic, the motive for revenge?
All right. Every week in our Ezine, we always like to have a little archival message from Napoleon Hill so that the people could learn as they read, not just get, current information, but also get information in Napoleon Hill's own words from the past. And this week we're talking about revenge. And our guest columnist is also talking about revenge, and that's Phil Taylor. But what Napoleon Hill says that I would like to read to set the stage is this, and I'm going to have to look down, so I'm sorry, but I'll read it from the PMA course. Napoleon Hill says, although the feeling of getting even with someone is basically human, it is utterly wasteful. It builds or improves nothing and no one. Holding a grudge can result in only one thing, a negative mental attitude. So he says, even though revenge is a good opportunity to jumpstart us to action, it puts us in the wrong direction. And we don't win when we use revenge.
So true, so true. I'm going through a situation right now, Judy, which is right on target with this whole topic of revenge. And as I've been thinking about it, I've been migrating towards the notion of justice. So I'll just share this with our viewers because I think it would be helpful to kind of put an example around the situation. So in a nutshell, I've been working with an offshore company to help me with the development of a new innovative website. And in the end, we spent the money, my partner and I, we spent about $4,500, and we are now in a position where we do not have a website, we do not have code, we do not have anything to show for all of our efforts over the last few months working with this company. So naturally, I feel a little bit revengeful and upset about this situation because we couldn't resolve it in any other way, and they're pretty much ignoring me right now. And the more I've been thinking about it, as we've been thinking about the notion of revenge, is thinking about how this might, where's the line between revenge and justice? And I guess in my own mind, I've come up with that if it overtakes all of my thoughts and converts me into a negative mental attitude from a positive mental attitude, then it's gone too far and it's hurting me probably more than it will ever hurt that other company. Versus maintaining my composure and at the same time seeking justice. So what do you think, Judy?
Well, I like to read current authors too on these topics. And one of the authors that I was introduced to recently by a man named Michael Talipari, he's also a certified instructor for our foundation, is an author named Greg Braden. And he says, and it sounds a little crazy, but I've been trying and it seems like it's working. He says when something like this hits you, and catches you off guard, it really throws you in the wrong direction. He says, bless it, and send it back to the universe. And that's hard to do. You bless what's wrong, you bless the person who did the wrong, and then you bless yourself as either the recipient of the wrongdoing or as the observer of it. And I think what he's telling us to do is to move it in a more positive direction. If we have, a contingency here, negative to positive, and we're looking at that, it's a hard thing to change that attitude because we feel like you rightfully feel that you spent months on this and now you have nothing, not even codes. And where's the blessing in the disguise here that's going to enable you to move forward? And I don't know. But I think we have to take some positive action toward a more neutral feeling at first and then work toward that positive end. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle it?
Well, I really think it's a matter of putting things in perspective. In the big scheme of things, yeah, the $4,500 is, something I wish I'd have. I can certainly buy something with it, but it's not going to really change me fundamentally in big or small in any major way. But more than the money, I think it comes down to that notion of really understanding that my time is precious, and if it robs me of my creative energy to do something productive like create these useful videos with you and other projects that I'm involved in, then I'm really doing myself a disservice. So I think the way I'm going to proceed with this is that I do believe in justice. I don't believe in just simply being pushed around, but at the same time I'm going to make sure that I keep it in perspective and realize that I'm not going to throw a lot of good energy and good money after bad energy and bad money, so to speak. So that's the way I'm really going to proceed with it.
Well, Ray, as a certified instructor for the foundation, you've always been an exemplary student, and I didn't expect any less from you. I expect you to say exactly what you said and to proceed in that manner. And it's great to know that we can at least couch our responses in what Napoleon Hill tells us to do. He says, revenge is a negative attitude. It's a negative motive. Don't go there. Do something else, because Phil Taylor in his article talks about the Daytona race, if you've read it for this week, and how the two drivers got involved in a spat and actually got involved in a fist fight, and then they were in the lead for winning the race, and the third person in the lead actually surpassed them and won the race.
Indeed.
We don't want that to happen to you. You're
No.
you're an
No,
example.
I'm in my motor car and I got to keep the engines burning here. So one thing I wanted to just mention after I heard what you just said is you mentioned the word response. And I think it's really important that our audience understands the difference between reacting to something and responding to something as it pertains to the motive for revenge. And quite simply, it's this. Quite often when we have this feeling of revenge, and we act upon it, it's actually a reaction as opposed to a response. And the difference is that a response implies that there is a pause between observing something, experiencing something, thinking something, feeling something, and then actually doing something. And in that space is when we have time for some reflection and to actually make a volitional decision to move forward in one direction or another. And that's so critical to be able to have the control, which is of course something else that Napoleon Hill talks a lot about, to be able to pause and then take the action, as opposed to operate like going to the chiropractor and you hit the knee and the knee bounces right up. That's not the type of behavior that we want as we interact with ourselves and with others when things happen to us. So
I thank you for sharing that personal example, because I think when viewers watch us or read what we write, they think, oh, those people, they don't have any problems. They've got it all solved. And that's not true. I mean, every day, every single day when you come to work, you drive your car to work, you get on the expressway, you've got problems. I mean, people may pull out in front of you. You can react inappropriately, or you can allow them to just move forward, and you're going to feel better for it if you just pull back a bit and, like you said, think about it. Our feelings are created by our thoughts. Thoughts precede feelings. Feelings do not initiate the thoughts. Feelings are not just there to create thought. We think about something, and then we have a feeling, and then we tie it to an emotion, and we hope that emotion's positive.
It's funny, you just mentioned the whole idea of being in a car. Well, the whole idea of road rage. Has anybody on this video or watching this video ever experienced road rage? Well, I'll tell you about a story about another time, but I'll just say that that's a perfect example to think about how we need to control ourselves when things happen to us and people jarred in front of us, they cut us off. I mean, really, like the story in this week's newsletter, does it really make sense to go and get even with that person and put yourself in danger and potentially get in an accident? I mean, these are simple ideas. Sometimes it takes a lot to implement them. It takes a lot of self-control, but that's part of the reason why you're watching this video and you're enjoying these newsletters, is because you're interested in these distinctions that can help you really grow and become a better person and have a better business.
And it gives you a good breakout way of actually changing yourself. I was just talking to Don Green, the executive director for the foundation, and he said he had a call from an individual who wanted to make an inquiry about self-discipline and losing weight. And he says, well, you're probably not going to want to hear my answer, but my answer is go out there and buy yourself a pair of tennis shoes, put them on, and get walking. And most people would rather just take those 2 little red pills in the morning and say, well, I'm going to be losing weight. But that's not really how it works. And we all know that. We all know it. But do we practice it? And, this philosophy, as you know, you've gone through the whole program. You talked about it on the video. It's an application philosophy. And it doesn't matter what we comprehend. It matters what we do with what we comprehend. That's
Absolutely.
key.
You just mentioned this notion of getting fit. Just to share one other little story here. Getting fit, most people, as you said, would like to take the blue pill or the red pill or drink the Hollywood juice or whatever the fad is and think they'll magically get fit. Well, I myself am trying to reduce, notice I didn't say lose, reduce about 20 pounds or so and get my blood lipids in a little bit better situation. And if there's those of you out there who are looking to get a little healthier, I'd like to encourage you to check out CrossFit. CrossFit is a new style of exercise which is heavy duty. The Marines do it, the police do it, the firefighters do it. And I just did my session today, and let me tell you, for 1 hour, I was doing some serious exercise. And just as Judy just mentioned here, getting fit and getting really anything in life doesn't come easy if it's really something that's worth it. And my coach just beat me up this morning. His name is Matt, and he beat me up. So if this is something you want to improve in your life, you want to look for a good, safe environment where someone can beat you up with good form so you don't hurt yourself, and you will get the results you're looking for. So just something to consider. Look up CrossFit.
Right.
Okay.
And it sounds like Napoleon Hill's principle of maintenance of sound health. And pretty soon you're going to be in the Ironman competition, right? And you're going to win it.
Right there.
That's right. That's right. Well, Ray, it's been excellent talking to you today. And I hope we can continue this every week if we have the time. And thank you for making the time, because it gives our readers and our viewers some insight into what Napoleon Hill is all about, too. And he's the man. He's the person that started the philosophy, and it's very easy to apply it, comprehend it, but not so easy to apply it. I think that everybody that reads what we write and everybody that listens to us might get a little different idea of how they can take these things and put them into immediate action in their lives.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
It's been a great pleasure to talk with you too, Judy, and just like to encourage everyone who watches this video to share it with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers. Let them experience the benefits of the newsletter, and feel free to give us some feedback on this video. We certainly are looking for ways in which we can improve it and add more value to you as you receive this free newsletter every week from the foundation.
But be kind, because this is our first week, and so I am learning. I'm not sure how this is going to fly yet, but please be kind. Don't be too mean to us.
Okay, that sounds good. So with that, I'd like to bid you all farewell, and stay tuned for our next episode, which I think you're going to really enjoy.